A great crowd on hand today at Wisner, Nebraska for Thunder by the River, the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Series. Pro 4x4 trucks. This is Brett Stamps out of Newmarket, Iowa.
Single carburation, street legal tires, 6,200 pounds. Who can build the most horsepower and get it on? The boys of Iowa met the Outlaw rules and they're the same, they're equal. Oh, let that motor sing, let it roll, let it go. Is he going to take that pull? That's what we got to find out. Yep, thumbs up right there. We're underway. 3:05 and 56. This show is set.
In the heart of the Midwest, there's a band of modern-day marauders. Mounted atop their beasts, they line up to throw down. They are outlaws.
Welcome to Rock Valley, Iowa, and Thunder by the River, the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Series. Hello, everyone. I'm Claude Wood, along with Dave Bennett and Rick Carlson, and we'll be bringing you the exciting action today in Pro 4x4, Diesel Super Stocks, and the Modifieds. And we'll kick it off with Pro Stock 4x4. This is Zach Green. He is your Colorado champion.
The Colorado boys, the Iowa boys, the Missouri boys, we are in Wisner. Campaigning, looks to me like. Anyhow, rock and roll. Log Lane Village, Colorado, the Bulletproof Unloaded. That motor never wanted for horsepower. Just a little more traction would have helped him go a little bit farther down the track. 299.04.
And 3:05.66, the mark to beat. That'll bring up Danny Brockhouse out of Holden, Missouri.
Well, he's holding strong. Top runner, top gunner. And we're looking for some traction awful close to a white line right there. These boys are going to be throwing the bricks at it today. Getting down towards the end of the season, he's looked back, see how far did he go. I can tell him, he goes 3:01 and 83.
Our next puller will be Gabe Adair. Gabe is a hired gun. Today, driving Hammer Time, he is a Texas champion.
All right, now here we go. We got the guy from Iowa leading the class. We've seen what the leader from Colorado can do. Now we're going to move into Texas. Gabe Adair doing the driving for his boss. He's moved the sled a little bit farther over to the left. And I'd say that was the perfect thing to do. He goes 3:22.39. And Claude, the guy from Texas, made it look pretty nice.
He did, and this early in the pull, they are experimenting some. You see that he is set up a little bit toward the left side. Hey, that worked out okay.
This is a Hammer Time truck for a fact. A good run. Gabe Adair's with Rick Carlson.
Gabe, you jumped out and put a big shot on everybody.
It felt good. It was a real good hook. I just hope it holds up. There's a lot of good irons left to come.
Our next puller, one of the few female pullers in the sport, Tammy Morris, out of Neosho, Missouri. She is a professional welder.
Her and her husband both know how to handle a welding rod, and they both know how to get the horsepower out of a good running machine. Dazed and confused. She's kind of a blonde. That goes along with the name. Dazed and confused. Tammy's quite the competitor. And she lays down a beautiful pass at 3:15 and 61. Going to put her into second place.
And she spots the sled in the center, but look at this. Pulls her to the left just a little bit. Losing a little bit of ground, but hey, not too much.
Hey, good RPM, good and straight. I think we're about to find the sweet spot in this track, and that's right where she just run.
Our next puller is Paul Tyus. He owns the truck we saw a few minutes ago, Hammer Time. This is a 1936 beautiful Chevy.
One beautiful rig. Now he's going to try to gun down his hired gun that drives his number 2 truck. That motor's working hard. He's farther over to the left. You notice he's kicking up some dry dirt right there. Going to come up. He's going to move it into number 3 at 3:09 and 72.
And his employee just beat him. 3:22 and 39 is the mark to beat. And here comes Philip Chrysler.
Mr. Four-Wheel Drive. He pretty well owned his class years back. Now the competition has come to him. The Show Me Chevy out of Lincoln, Missouri. One thing about it, that motor didn't hurt for any horsepower. but he runs out of traction at 3:11.04, puts him in number 3 right now.
As we go to the leaderboard, our hired gun living up to what he was hired for. He's your leader, driving Hammer Time, Tammy Morris. In second place, Jordan Compton and her dad studying the track, trying to figure where to spot the sled. We'll be back to Thunder by the River.
The Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Series is being brought to you by VP Racing, Makin' Power. Extreme Performance and Tire Cutting, a cut above the rest. Z-Max, the one product for your engine, transmission, and fuel system. And the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Association, Thunder in the Dirt.
Welcome back to Thunder by the River from Wisner, Nebraska, the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Series. Our next puller in Pro Stock 4x4 is Dave Walters, one of the many Iowa pullers. He calls it Tater Wagon.
Tater Wagon. Iowa come aboard when the rules come together to where they would meet our rules in the Outlaw Association, and boy, did the Iowa trucks come on strong. Tater Wagon, he's hauling the taters. Spinning and grinning, going down to 3:09 and 38.
All right, a few minutes ago, we saw Jordan Compton and her dad studying the track. Now we'll see if they made the right decision where to spot the sled.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know what that was hanging down underneath the door. Don't sound like it's hurting the motor any. They decided to go over kind of off the sideline a little bit. Boy, that motor didn't hurt for power. She gets a distance of 295 and 15. Now, Claude, we've seen that rod hanging down from underneath, but I really think that's more structural than anything else.
Yeah, it didn't seem to have anything to do with the pull, really. Jordan pulling since 2013, not really a rookie.
No, she's not a rookie at all. Let's go down to Rick Carlson and see what the little lady has to say about it.
We saw earlier, some of our camera people saw you taking notes. What's going on?
We were just seeing which side of the track was better. I think the right side was falling apart, so everyone moved to the left.
And that will bring up Matt Strange out of New Virginia, Iowa. He drives a good-looking 69 Dodge Power Wagon, pulling since 2000.
You don't see very many Dodges in this class, and that's not because they're a Dodge. It's for the fact to get to the cubic inches, it just takes a lot more money to get the Dodge up to the maximum cubic inches of the other boys. And Matt Strange knows how to get the power out of a Dodge. The motor is working for him, just didn't get the traction. He goes 300.11.
322.39, the mark to beat. Marty Selman, he calls his truck Rat Trap.
Marty and his wife, Louetta, share the driving in this truck. Today is Marty's turn to drive the Rat Trap. A strong running Ford. And I don't know what his wife's going to be able to tell him that he done wrong on that class. He ain't taking the lead, but it looks like a good run at 3:03 and 66.
Checking Pro 4x4, final results, Gabe Adair, the hired gun. He wins it. Look at this, Chevy's in the top 5 position. Earlier, some of last night's top pullers were honored by the fine folks from Sapp Brothers. And Rick caught up with a representative from this great group.
Ken Bros, Sapp Brothers putting on a great event here with the Outlaws in Wisner.
We're fantastic. I think it's fantastic. We got great weather. We've been blessed with great weather, great crowds. We've always been very fortunate to have be able to sponsor some of the local events with the tractor pullers and with the Outlaws the last couple of years. And a lot of these people have become really good friends over the years. And as they travel from our travel centers in Pennsylvania all the way to Utah, we've been pleased that they patronized our places as well as the places here in Nebraska.
Let's change gears and classes. Diesel Super Stocks coming at you. Tyler Buckman out of Waverly, Iowa. He's a farmer and a trucker. He took 6 top 3 finishes on the 2014 circuit.
Well, they've been working on this tractor awful hard in the last couple of years to get the John Deere green up in the big spot. Cross-tracking, didn't fight it. Great job of driving that air horn, taking a lot of air in. Tyler's going to be happy with that. He goes 3:42 and 75.
Buckman setting up on the right side of the track. Let's see if he stays there. No, he doesn't.
Now he's going to cross-track it. I don't know if he really wanted to do that on purpose, but that's where the track wants to take him, but he's smart enough to let it go. Let's go down and find out what he has to say about his run.
Tyler, that was just a good way to start the session.
You know, it's been a great weekend for us. We've had a great last week. This old girl's just been hanging in there making passes for me, and I just can't expect any better than that. First one out in the class, great track. She just lays a pass down. I just had to sit there and go for the ride. It was great.
Here is a good example of a mediocre approach to naming your tractor. This is just another one. Roger Peterson.
Well, this ain't just another one. You better be looking out for the boys. When they come from Minnesota, they come with both guns loaded. He started in the same spot as what Buckman just did. He started to go over it. He's having to run after the flagman. Oh, slow him down. Where am I going? Let me take this lead in a big way. 4:14 and 80 while my flagman catches his breath.
Well, Dave, that'll show me to make fun of somebody's tractor name. What an impressive pull. He sets up in the middle of the track. Wheels a little high right there, though.
Yeah, he got a little high. He had to touch the brake a little bit, but anytime the flagman has to turn around and chase you down, it's a good day of pulling.
Our next puller is Matt Goodwin out of Farnhamville, Iowa. His tractor's called Intimidator.
Intimidator's been a points champion with the Outlaws so many times, but now the John Deere boys have come up to do battle with him, and he's chasing a green one, and he started over on that left side, walking the dog, looking good, but he is going to come up short, quite a bit short, 380 feet, .79, which actually puts him into second place.
You don't see many Case IH tractors, but we'll see one here. This is Troy Arndt. He's your 2015 Western Farm Show champion.
And they call the tractor Back in Black, and yeah, you don't see that much black. You got to go back a long time back when he did have a black tractor, but he retained the name. Well, we're going at it totally different. We're starting on the left and going to the right, cross-tracking it that way. We go 331 and 81. Kind of an interesting run right there, Claude. We attacked it from a different side of the track.
He did set up over to the left, and he ends up right. So what happened here?
Probably he knows his tractor. Maybe he wants to drift that way. Maybe the way the tire pressure's set up. I bet he knew the tractor was going to go that way. Is the reason he set up that way.
Boy, and it sure did. This is Doug Messenger, and his tractor is called Scrappy.
Out of Goodland, Kansas. Now, Goodland, Kansas over towards the Colorado line, and to be an Outlaw, this guy's got to run a long ways. Ooh. Minneapolis Moline, brand new for the year. He's going to have to settle for 206 and 46, but I bet you he'll be back.
Diesel Superstock Tractors final results. Roger Peterson, your winner. Yeah, just another one, just a way out in front. Matt Goodwin, the Intimidator, he's in second place. Let's go down to Rick Carlson.
Roger Peterson, 414 foot. All we can say is great pull.
Yeah, just all I can say is it felt good too, so it's fun. You know, it's a nice place to pull.
When we come back, going from smoke to noise, the Modifieds. Stay with us. Welcome back to Thunder by the River. Earlier today, Rick Carlson caught up with our first puller in the Modifieds.
Here in Wisner, Nebraska, we see pullers from all over the country. Right now, Sonny Martinez, Albuquerque, New Mexico. What in the heck brought you to Wisner?
Pulling. We do tractor pulling. We're not in a pulling state, so we have to come where there is pulling.
Okay. Now, we got a couple pulling machines. What do you have here?
The mod tractor, which has got 3 540s in it, and I got a two-wheel drive with a 572, and they're all Chevys, because everybody runs Hemis, so I got to be different.
Yeah, he sure is. Love this guy. A jack of all trades. Here's Sonny Martinez.
From a body shop to building spiral staircases to running 3 Chevrolets on Mexican. And he still runs a foot throttle. You notice he's steering with 2 hands, one of the few guys that runs a foot throttle back to drag racing days. 302 and 13, a little bit of a rough ride here, Claude. Notice how he bounces around a little bit.
Starting out the pull, do you ease into the clutch? Is that the theory?
Well, it depends on the track. When you got this kind of horsepower, you really don't want to nail it on the line or you'll blow those big tires away.
And that'll bring up Wayne Bunnage pulling on, keeps on ticking.
Man comes out of Illinois, out of early Illinois, Set up for 4 motors, but to pull our class, he can only run 2 Hemis. And take a look at that left motor right there. Man got a blower belt. Man, he went a long ways down the line to get a blower belt right at the very end. Watch this, Claude, over, actually it'd be to our left, his right. Watch that belt come off. Those motors are really loaded. You can tell by the torque of the frame. You can see that belt flop off right at that point. Let's go down and talk to Wayne Bunnage.
I believe that I had all she had when she throwed the belt. I'd say she's running right on the edge right now.
Up next is Donald Nelson, a real veteran in the sport of pulling. 4 wins, 8 top 3 finishes in 2015.
Well, now, you seen Bunnage's tractor just a minute ago. The 2 Hemis was setting across from each other. Now these 2 are setting in line, but one's turned forward, one's turned backwards. The twisted whip of Don Nelson didn't get the distance he really wanted, 290 feet, .52.
Up next is Cameron Neves out of McAdoo, Texas. 3 big Chevys sitting loud and proud. Cameron has 7 top 3 finishes in 2014.
Pretty good runner. McAdoo, Texas, over towards Lubbock. Oh, work that frame. Hang on, twist that frame. He was getting all the goodie he could out of it. That's good enough, 3:16.69. Let's take the lead with that run.
And now 2 big Hemis, run by Justin Gallion out of Edmond, Oklahoma. He's your 2013 points champion.
The only Oklahoma Outlaw puller at all. The one and only. Look at that frame torque. Those Hemis are twisting that frame, loading that right tire, singing a song. And let's just take it to the lead. 3:59.64. Oklahoma, Justin Gallion, lot of dirt. Your new leader.
Look at the blue butterflies, the way Justin works it coming off the line. He eases into the throttle. When they're full open, believe me, that thing is wide open.
What made that run possible is how smooth he come to his horsepower.
All right, we've had Hemis, we've had Chevys. You say you want something different? How about a Lycoming turbine?
The T52 Lycoming turned up 10% over its natural horsepower. That's the most that the United States government will let you turn a turbine up because the crowd sat so close. And Kyle Pesch, an artist at driving the Thermal Thunder, Milford, Nebraska, he just took number 2 away from Cotton Candy. He goes 3:23.62.
Modified leaderboard a few minutes ago, we talked about all the different engines. Look at this. Hemi in first place, aircraft engine second, and the Chevy engine represented in third place. Stay with us. When we come back, Jeff Paulson running on empty.
The Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Series is being brought to you by Precision Turbo, the world's foremost manufacturer of high-performance aftermarket turbochargers. Sap Brothers, welcome, be our guest. Graham Tire, your tire store next door. And by Dustless Blasting, it's the future of surface preparation.
Welcome back to the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Series from Wisner, Nebraska, Thunder by the River. Jeff Paulson last night had a lot of mechanical issues, but today a lot of pullers jumped in and helped him out.
Well, there's a lot of people thrashing on a machine. You notice both rear motors are off. They've had the clutch cans off. They're trying to get to that center box, and he's going to have to scramble to get ready.
Well, now Jeff has those 3 Chevys ready, running on empty. Here he goes.
He probably is running on empty because I bet he ain't ate dinner. Oh, they're walking. You talk about riding a sideline. He is going to be way happy with that. Might only have a distance 3:05.27, but hey, it's still 3:05.27. He's still running.
Well, as they say, all things considered, believe me, Jeff will take this pull. Full throttle right there. Oh, pulling him over to the right.
Yeah, he had to be careful not to go across that white line, but he's going to be a thankful man. Let's go down to Rick Carlton and find out.
We were really happy that we got things together. The only way this was possible was I got to thank my 2 sons, Nick and Kyle, and Randy and Chuck and everybody else for all the help they give me today. We wouldn't have made it without friends, and that's what friends are for, and they're good friends. And I'm just glad it got down the track and done well.
That'll bring up Brett Behrens out of Firth, Nebraska. And you got a good look right there at the T55 Lycoming.
The Turbinator, these boys come and run hard. You've seen the Turbine earlier. This one's set up very much the same way. Gets its horsepower at a different range on the track, but very smooth, very nice, and a very good distance at 3:42 and 84. That'll put him in number 2.
Craig Ulmer coming up next, running 3 Chevys. That's about 2,500 horsepower each.
You talk about a guy on kill now. This machine, the Sweet Pain, they go for the gusto every time. 3 motors, 3 clutches, 3 drive lines, 100-mile-an-hour tie speed. Don't give up. Look over at the flag. How far did I go? 358 feet, .12. That's good enough for second place, but 1.46 farther would have put him in the lead.
It was a good pull, but follow this thinking. You add 3 engines, you add horsepower. You add 3 engines, you add weight. So what's the deal?
Well, you're talking 7,600 pounds. The thing right here is the way they've got these 3 motors in line, handling the torque of the frame, and they do a great job of it.
Our last puller is Brandon Gilliand. He drives Oso Negro. Brandon started pulling in 2005.
And he runs the different configuration. You've seen the triples in line. You've seen the triples like a triangle. Well, this be a backwards triangle with the backwards motor turned backwards. Oh, bad deal. Sparks flying. Something ain't where it ought to be. 298 and 80 with a little bit of damage.
Modified final results. Justin Gallion, the only Oklahoma puller, prevails with Hemis, and they prevail over the Chevys by 17 inches.
Justin held on, got a win.
Hey, I'll take it. It's they all had a good shot at me, and there were some good tractors behind me, and the old gal just laid down a nice pass for me. It really worked real well.
Well, this was one classic show, from pickups to diesel superstocks to the big modifieds. It don't get no better than that. The Outlaws are on a roll, and you'll want to go to an Outlaw show next year, as they'll bring all the great big competition coming your way somewhere in the Midwest.
Well said, and that'll put a wrap on it this time. From Wisner for Rick Carlson and Dave Bennett, Claude Wood, so long, and we'll see you later.